It comes Mrs May last night urged Tory rebels not to obstruct the EU withdrawal bill, which will pave the way for the UK's exit, when it goes for its second reading in the Commons this week. Brussels has demanded the UK pay a Brexit bill of £92 billion, Euro 100 billion. Meanwhile, senior Tories have hit back, saying Britain will open with a bid of no more than £30 billion after Mrs May's conference speech on October 4. But a close ally of the Prime Minister has privately admitted the final bill could rise by an additional £20 billion because of the UK's weakened negotiating position after the general election. Mrs May's government was hit hard after losing its majority in the election, and Brussels has taken note. The insider told The Times, "We were looking at a final bill of £20 billion to £30 billion, now it will be nearer £50 billion. Under the plan, Britain would pay between £7 billion and £17 billion a year to Brussels for 3 years after Brexit." Mrs May had reportedly been advised of the bill and is desperate to keep it under wraps for the Manchester conference on October 4. It is understood hopes to sell the deal to her restive backbenchers, some of whom think the UK should not pay any divorce money to Brussels, by arguing that agreeing to the higher figure would only mean writing an annual cheque equivalent to the UK's current £13.1 billion payments to the bloc. Mrs May would then have just 2 weeks to strike a deal before an EU summit in Brussels on October 19. Another Tory source said, "They are planning to do the Brexit bill and how much they're going to pay after a party conference. They would look to do it as yearly payments for the transitional period. They think the bill has gone up since the election." Downing Street has denied the plans as Mrs May attempts to unite her party amid reports half a dozen Tory MPs are considering joining Labour, the SNP and Liberal Democrats in rebelling on key parts of Great Repeal Bill. If 7 Tories rebel and North Ireland's DUP do not back Mrs May's bill, it could cause chaos for the Prime Minister hard Brexit pledge. Mrs May has described the EU withdrawal bill as the single most important step we can take to prevent a cliff edge for people and businesses. She added, "We've had frank negotiations with the Commission, and we've travelled the globe to establish the trading relationships of the future. Now it is time for Parliament to play its part." The Labour Party has demanded the government make substantial changes to the Great Repeal Bill which would allow the UK to remain in the Single Market, Customs Union and the European Court of Justice, ECJ, after Brexit, according to a leaked letter. Labour had revealed its plot to force Theresa May into delivering a soft Brexit, with its deputy leader Tom Watson suggesting it might be a permanent outcome of the negotiations. Responding to reports Mrs May has tried to the EU divorce bill a secret, a Downing Street spokesman said, "We don't recognise this version of events."